Hello, welcome to an overview of HST DataStream, the most flexible and comprehensive way to access all of your portfolio surgery center data in one location. With HST DataStream, consolidate all your HST product data into one unified place. Easily choose between a daily full data load or hourly updates of only changed data. With HST DataStream, you can easily access all your HST raw data and ingest it into your data warehouse, data lake, or BI tool, allowing you to visualize insights and create reports for operational, financial, and clinical metrics. Make it easier to understand complex data at your facility. Now let's jump in and see how it all works. Here we will walk through connecting to the S3 bucket and reading in the data and tables. Depending on what data warehouse or access solutions are available to you, this process will look a little bit different. If you are using the incremental update process, you will need to utilize the AWS CLI and some scripts to pull data out of the S3 bucket and load it into your data warehouse. Once we've successfully accessed the data, we'll be able to write SQL queries to pull data across all of our portfolio centers and for whatever time horizon we choose. So now that I've logged in to my DataStream S3 bucket, my data warehouse's name is Data Science. I can see all of the tables that I have access to within the S3 bucket. Here, for example, the way I've set this up is that any eChart data is prefixed with the EHR, while any PM data is prefixed with a PM underscore. So I have all of my HST data in one location that now I can join and query together using SQL. And so now to see an example, I'm going to open up a new SQL script. And I'm going to paste in some SQL that I've previously written that queries transactional data at the portfolio centers of my sample management company. So I've pasted in my SQL. Now I'll execute the script. All right, now that my query results have returned, we can see that I've been able to query multiple centers. There's 3 center IDs here, 500, 2, and 1. And I've been able to query my transactional data all the way back to 2018. August 14th. So I have all of my historical transactional information across all of the centers that I wanted to query here. Now, if you just wanted to export this data as CSVs, you can do that. Or if you wanted to continue working on and developing the query, maybe joining in data from eChart or other products, you could do that as well. But for me here in the sample, I'm happy with where this query is. And now this is something that I know I want to keep. And I want to port this into my BI tool so that I can develop some custom visualizations for stakeholders within my management company to view. And so now that I want to move my SQL query over into my BI tool, we're going to take a look at how you can do that with something like Tableau, but you could do a similar thing with Power BI or most any other modern data visualization or BI tool platform. So I'll enter my credentials. I'll sign in. And once I'm authenticated, it'll bring me to my data warehouse. And you can see that I still have access to all of the same data. So I can see my eChart tables as well as my PM tables in here. And the way that I'm going to set this up is I'm just going to take the SQL that we wrote in our query example, and I'm going to paste it over into here as custom SQL and click OK. Then, as long as I've configured my connection string correctly, I'll be able to pull in all of the information that we were able to see in the query example. And sure enough, here again, I have multiple center IDs. I have my historical transaction information back to 2018. So that's good. Now I can get started building my visualization. And in this visualization, for example, I can look at historical payments by financial class and by accounting period. And so to do that, since I've queried in all the data from the S3 bucket in DataStream, now I can start pulling it over into Tableau. And so now I have built the table layout where I want to see my accounting years and my accounting months across the top of the screen going horizontally. And then I want to see my financial class names down the left-hand side of the screen. And so now all I have to pull in is I want to filter on transaction types, where in HST, that abbreviation is PY for payment, but I could pull in any of the other types of transactions as well. I'll click OK. Now I have the basic structure of my table built. And so now the last thing I have to pull in is the transaction amounts. And so now that I've built out the basic layout of my Tableau dashboard and I've pulled in the transaction information, I'll just rename this. So now that I've renamed it, if you wanted to continue developing it, you could make a bunch of formatting changes. You could maybe turn it into different types of visualizations. But the point is, once you've written that SQL and you've connected it to your S3 bucket or your data warehouse, and you've ported that over into your BI tool, each night as data stream refreshes or each hour as you pull in those incremental updates, all that data will automatically move into the visualizations and the reports that you've built that run off of data stream using SQL. And so that's it for the end of the overview. And obviously, there's a lot more things that you can do when you have this level of flexibility and reporting capability and custom reporting capability. This is just scratching the surface, and it's an illustrative example to show you some of the breadth and depth that you can get out of data stream when you combine it with data warehouses, data lakes, and your own reporting tools.